All right, Smell Good family, before we get into the weekly rotation, I must say, because I'm going to say this because some of y'all won't watch the whole video, and I get it, but there's a fragrance that I wore this week to the office that rolls up the ranks as one of the compliment kings. Didn't expect it. I've worn it before, but there was something about my new environment where I'm at now and this fragrance that was an absolute hit. What fragrance am I talking about? You might want to stay tuned and watch. Let's get started with today's video. YouTube, what's going on YouTube? What is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell Good family, hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. And as always, man, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes, and most importantly, it is positive vibes only. All right, so we are back to do my favorite video that I love to do each and every week, and that is the weekly rotation video. All right, so 168 straight weeks covering every fragrance that I wore during May 18th, and man, we had a good rotation, you know, as usual. But there was a fragrance this week, well, a couple of fragrances that were really interesting, that created, you know, some conversations, some compliments, and just overall just great experiences. All right, so let's go ahead and excuse me, all right, that came out of nowhere. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with Sunday. Sunday was fun, Sunday fun day with the family. Got up, my wife and the kids, we went out and, you know, hit some stores, went to the mall. My son wanted to go to this anime store, took him there. He was super excited and got some things, and we went to Sprouts and did a little healthy shopping and stuff like that, man. But it was very warm, 90 degrees here in Jacksonville. And man, this DNA it's really turning a corner on me, and I'm really appreciating the version that I have. And it was just good stuff overall. On Sunday from the house of Y-M&L, we went with Chillax. Chillax on Sunday. And what is Chillax? Chillax is a very good take on Louis Vuitton's Pacific Chill. All right, beautiful apricot, beautiful, very close. I say it's around that 85-90% range with Pacific Chill, which is a, you know, very popular fragrance in the community. But you know, we've talked about Y-M&L here a lot, and we know by now, well, those who have experienced it, that Y-M&L really cranks out some fantastic quality. All right, so, and this is one of those ones for the summer. The beautiful apricot, that tropical fruit, almost kind of I get like a slightly, you know, tea vibe. I don't know if tea's in here, but like a tea vibe with the apricot. Very fresh, very clean, beautiful, beautiful aroma, especially with that, like, again, I just keep harping on that apricot. So this stuff is a performer. It is a workhorse. All right, I'm not really sure about the performance of the original. Had a small decant of it. I smelled it a while ago. I need to get my nose on it again so I can do some more comparisons, but I do remember the profile, and this is very close to it. And a big bang for your buck opportunity here with Y-M&L. They have great presentation, really great quality. Extrait de parfum, 40% oil concentration with their fragrances. If you know, you know. If you're trying to find out, you should hit the link in the description and learn more. But Y-M&L Chillax on Sunday with the family. Was loving my sillage and Sprouts. One of the ladies, when I was walking by getting some avocados, she was like, "Oh, you smell good," and she just kept kind of moving. So that was cool. So good stuff. Chillax, Y-M&L on Sunday on a hot day for sure, for sure. All right, Monday, back to the office, and I've said it before, I'm in a new area, in a new climate, where I'm at in my career, and it's causing for a shift in, you know, where I used to work in the cold, 30-degree cold every day, so I could kind of get away with some things, even in the summertime. I can't do that here, and that's fine, because, you know, my rotation and what I'm wearing to the office, and I really reflect my style when it comes to my collection. And this is just one that really represents that, and I love this stuff. From the house of Tumi, we're talking Atlas. Tumi Atlas on Monday to the office. Man, I love this stuff. Beautiful grapefruit, vetiver, ginger. God, it's amazing. Nice clean musk with it as well. Just a very clean scent. don't sleep on Tumi fragrances, man. They really have some nice fragrances out there. And this is definitely one of them. This is my favorite from the house. Because of the grapefruit, the ginger, the vetiver, just beautiful, 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 very clean. And I was just personally enjoying my sillage, my wearing experience. No compliments on this day, and that's fine. But just kind of walking around and, you know, in the warmer air, in the warmer warehouse, in my office, like it just was ping ponging, you know, around. And this is just great stuff. Great everyday wear, very versatile fellas out there. If you look for something that's not complicating, but smells clean, got a little bit of citrus, a little bit of pop to it. It's not going to, you know, probably create a lot of attention around you, but you're going to smell really good. You're going to smell like you know what you're doing, all right? And this is one of those fragrances for sure. Great office fragrance, man. Great office, but just a great overall summertime banger. You can really get away with this, well, really all year round. Because what you get with the vetiver, what you get with the ginger, what you get with the musk and the citrus, just creates this nice, versatile, all-around fragrance. But it really does magic in the warmer months, particularly, really whatever you're doing. And then for me, wearing it to the office, it's just fitting. Especially in my new environment, it's just fitting. From the house of Tumi, we're talking Atlas on Monday. My goodness, I love this stuff. As you can see, we got a nice dent in that bottle. And I hadn't had this bottle a year yet. I hadn't had this bottle for a year. This stuff is outstanding. Great stuff. All right. Moving along to Tuesday, we went with an OG. We went with a classic. We went with something that is in the Hall of Fame, at least in my opinion, when it comes to fragrances. From the house of Hermes, we went with the original Terre Hermes EDT. Man, you want to talk about classic? You want to talk about classy? You want to talk about just Hall of Fame level? This is it, man. Again, another beautiful, very woodsy, earthy, citrusy fragrance here. Again, a classic in the community. To me, you know, when I was wearing this on Tuesday, it was very warm. It was 93 degrees in the afternoon, very hot. And what I will say is that as I was wearing it, I was like, yo, you know what? This could have been on my top 10 for summer. This could have been on top 10 for summer. Just how the DNA was interacting with the heat. I was enjoying it, man. Very mature, classy style of a scent. Y'all know about this. I've heard of this. It's for some people. It's not for some people. It's kind of one of those you want to get your nose on. Very mature fragrance, especially for men around my age. You know, you're in your mid-30s, so you know, mid-30s and up, you might have a great appreciation for this. If you're in your 30, you're 30 and younger, you might not, because I didn't. I really didn't find true appreciation for this till a couple of years ago. But wearing it to the office, I had a meeting that day, so I kind of wanted to be, you know, business professional. Well, not kind of. I wanted to be business professional, walking into the room, you know, wanted that vibe, and it created that. You know, one of my OGs who was sitting next to me, he's been in the business for a long time, complimented me on my scent. He said it smelled familiar to him. And that's all he really said. We didn't have a conversation of what it was, but he said whatever I was wearing smelled familiar to him. So really good stuff here on Tuesday. Very hot day to the office. Just a classic. It's just a classic. It is a king amongst kings. Hermes, Terre Hermes, the EDT. EDT. Stuff is outstanding, man. Outstanding. All right, no, we got some folk. Okay, there we go. All right. Up next, that fragrance that I was talking about in the intro of this video that got more attention that it has ever got, and I got a total of 4 compliments with this fragrance throughout the day. And wow, it's a really good one that doesn't get talked about. I just referenced this in a video not too long ago about fragrances that just don't get that love, and this is one of them. From the house of Zaharoff, we're talking Signature Noir. Signature Noir from the house of Zaharoff. Listen, man. This stuff, it's a shame that it's not talked about and discussed more. In a business professional environment, this is just one of the elite. As a matter of fact, Zaharoff has several fragrances that are great for the business environment. And this is, like I said, one of the ones. You get some citrus here. You get some white florals here. You get a little bit of a spice here. You get a little bit of woods here. There's a nice tonka beans that gives it a nice sweetness at the base of the fragrance that really kind of rises up as the fragrance settles in. This stuff is outstanding. Walking into my building, there was a gentleman sitting outside on his break, and he said, man, I walked by him, I said, what's up to him? He said, man, whatever you got on, yes sir, that is nice, boss. That is nice. That's what he was excited. I was like, okay, man, appreciate that. He told me, no, man, I never smelled nothing like that before. What is that? So I told him what it was. Of course, he was stumped. Had never heard of anything from Zaharoff. But I was like, okay. So walking into the building, the ladies in the front, but right before I got back to my office, same thing. You smelling really nice today. They, I work on, a lot of people call me D. D, man, you smelling really good. You smelling really nice. So just kind of maneuvering through the office to get to my office. Got some conversations. I was stopped, as a matter of fact, by one of my team members and asking me about this fragrance, and they wanted to get this for their husband. She wanted to get it for her husband. She was like, wow, that's really nice. Like, you smell like money, success. Like, that's what she told me. So very surprised and taken aback by the energy that this fragrance got, but it deserves it because I was just loving my experience throughout the day. Hella performance here. Get a very solid 7 to 8 hours of very good performance. Even more, turn into a, I want to say skin scent. But even as I was wrapping up my day and getting ready to get into my car to go home, I caught me a couple wafts because I do spray my clothes. So Signature Noir, an unsung hero, doesn't get a lot of love, but it should. This is one of the fragrances that I consider perfect for the office if you're trying to step your game up. If you're trying to level up, you're trying to kind of maneuver away from the original blue shower gel, clean, fresh, musky scents, but you want something that has a little bit more a matter-of-factness to it, check it out. For me, it did great. It could do great for you. You got to see for yourself. Samples all available on Zaharoff. So from the house of Zaharoff, we have Signature Noir on Wednesday. Unexpected, most complimented fragrance of the week. Great stuff. All right. Up next, this fragrance was the fragrance of the week that truly captivated me. This fragrance took me on a journey. I've talked about this in a recent video, and this is something that I find it would be great for the office, especially if you're dressing up, have to go on to work. If you're wearing a button down, you're wearing a sports jacket, some slacks, some hard bottoms. If you're walking into that type of arena, this would be great. This is also a great dinner date night fragrance. This is also a great suit and tie, even black tie fragrance. It has so many different layers to this fragrance that I was really intrigued by this. And what am I talking about? From the house of Ojar, we're talking about Cashmere print. I talked about this on a video a couple of days ago, and I said it was going to be my scent of the day, and it truly was. For Thursday, wow. Beautiful, man. Pink pepper bomb is what you get in the opening of this. If you love pink pepper, you're going to love this. But it's blended with some orris root and some rose. You get a little bit of patchouli, a very clean musk and warm amber in the base of this. It is outstanding. It's not a warm fragrance that's specifically for the cooler months. No, you can definitely wear this. It has some depth. To it. It has a little bit more of a fresh and clean vibe, but it's still clean. All right, so unique setup for this fragrance. The notes in here really represent what it's all about, but what's the most impressive is the blend of this fragrance. The blend of this fragrance is incredible, man. The dry down is where it's at. The clean musk and the warm patchouli with the remnants of the floral and the orris root, man, this stuff is exceptional. It is exceptional. Very, very happy about my experience. Full wearing. I've tested this on my skin and I really enjoyed it testing it. But as far as a full wear, yes, sir. This will be getting more play to the office. And if me and my wife are going out for a nice dinner at a, we're dressing up, kind of showing off a little bit, going out, doing our thing, this will be a contender because this is one of the fragrances she considers you smell like a man. You smell like the man. That's her compliment with fragrances that kind of have a profile like this. So really good. You can find us on Max Aroma. Get you a sample on Max Aroma. I have the link down below. Use Dedrick 10 for 10% off your sample. Or if you dare to get a full bottle, blind it, do your thing. But this is one, probably more for the mature audience. So fellas, listen to me. If you are business savvy and you're dressing up, moving around, or even on your off days, you're still wearing a sports coat, some jeans, some all white money sneakers, this is one to look into. Cashmere print from Ojar on Thursday. Man, was this a surprise? And I really enjoyed this fragrance for sure. Maybe my favorite from the house. I know Solar Flare It's really, really good, but that might be my favorite, all right? Moving on to Friday, it was dress down day. Usually Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, if I have to go into work, that's what we're doing, dress down. So, I had my, cargo pants, that's kind of, I'm in the style, fashion. So I got my cargo pants, got my, heavy duty t-shirt, and I'm wearing my, what was I wearing? I was wearing my Nike Vomero 5s, some black, white, and silver ones, and my Los Angeles Dodgers ball cap, going in and handle some business for a bit. And this was my scent of the day. And boy, was I reminded of how great the lineage of Hawas is. But this might be my favorite. This might have surpassed the original, which I love. I just do. It just works for me. From the house of Rasasi on Friday, Hawas Ice. Hawas Ice on Friday. My goodness. Compliments came with this as well. Didn't get as many as Signature Noir. Got two compliments with this fragrance. Oh my God. I mean, what else we got to talk about? This is that Invictus style fragrance here. Not Invictus. But this is a little bit more warmer, a little bit more richer. The plum really stands out here. The orange blossom. Just some highlighted points of the fragrance. Performs like an absolute monster. I thought I did too many sprays. I usually do about 5 to 6 sprays. But I think I did a couple extra, not really paying attention. So when I got in my car and I was going to work, I was like, yo. But I didn't care. I didn't care. And I was not ashamed. And I didn't feel no way. It is what it is. You get hit with this sillage, you get hit with this sillage. And that's exactly what happened. But classic in the community, very affordable, great for this time of year. And for me, wearing it to the office on a more casual day, especially wearing a t-shirt. Not, I want to say t-shirt, but like not this kind of shirt. It's more presentable for you walk into a place of business when everybody's casual going into those type of days. But anyway, I digress. But this is great for this time of year. Like I said, I might like this more than the original because it just has a couple of more layers to it, a little bit more depth to it. Virtually the same scent. If you have the original, you don't need this. If you have this, you don't need the original. Virtually the same scent. But this right here is just, especially around the time when I got into YouTube and was running my channel and doing videos and all these, this fragrance was running wild in the previous, the hype around it was real. But some people loved it, some people didn't. I'm not concerned with that. But for me personally, it worked, and it worked again. Compliment banger for the summer, affordable banger for the summer. Just great stuff. Rasasi Hawas Ice. Yes, sir. On Friday. Look at that dent. We ain't been playing. We don't play, man. I wore this fragrance to the gym and all kind of different stuff. All right. And last but not least, just Mr. Clutch. Just Mr. Go-To. Whatever I need, whatever I got going on, this is going to support me and have my back. And I don't know the bottle that you have, but the bottle that I have, this stuff is a performer. And it's an EDT. And I think I like it better than the new EDP. What am I talking about? To wrap up the week on Saturday to the office again, we went with Ralph Lauren's Polo 67, the EDT. The EDT. I have raved and raved and raved about this fragrance since it came out. Smell Good Family Award winner right here. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link the live stream, but you can see the awards for 2024 fragrances. Beautiful pineapple, patchouli, lavender, just clean, just fresh, a little bit of a sweetness here, just absolute banger, man. And this performs on me. I get over 6, 7. I'm into the 8 and 9 hour performance lane with this one. I don't know if my bottle's just one of those ones, because I've seen some people say, man, I only get 3 to 4 hours, 5 hours. I don't. And I 6 to 7 sprays with this one, going out, going to work. But I had a pretty decent day having to work on a Saturday. And as I was wrapping up my day, 8 hours in, bro, it was still there. It was still on my skin. It was still on my clothing. Like when I came home and took my shirt off, and that waft that I do the personal spray on my chest, so that hit me in the face. Like, yo, this is, I don't recall this one being as much of a performer as it is, and it just is off of my skin. It just is off of my skin. So Polo 67 to the office, versatile for any and everything you got going on. It don't matter. This is an Excellent pickup. I like this one more than the EDP. I'm still going to get the EDP at some point in time because I do like the mineral difference in there, kind of like that. Yeah, like a mineral type of smell that you get in the opening with the citrus. It is good. It is good. But this one right here, I'm going to drag my feet on the EDP. I'll get it eventually. But the 67, this might be my favorite. No, I ain't going to say yeah, it's up there. It's top 3 to 5 favorite Polo fragrances ever. I might say top 2. I might say Ralph's Club Elixir. No, I can't say that. I might do a video on that. I have some Polo fragrances. Y'all want to see me rank my Polo fragrances? Maybe you don't. If you do, comment down below. Maybe we can do a short or something on it. But on Saturday, casual day to the office, taking care of some business, versatile at best. You can wear this button up t-shirt, shorts, slacks, hard bottoms, Air Jordans, whatever. It's gonna work. Polo 67, the EDT, to wrap up the week on Saturday. All right, Smell Good family, so there you have it. All right, so what did you guys wear this week? What were your favorite fragrances that you wore this week? What was some of the best experiences that you had? What was yes? What was no? What you have going on? I love reading those comments. I love reading what you guys wore, so keep them rolling. All right, so video's running a little long, but whatever. All right, if you stayed around to the end, salute to you. If you just schemed around, salute to you too. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you on the next one. Splack it up, splack it down, splack that thing all around. And remember, what you put out to this world is exactly what you are going to get back. That's for sure. Peace, y'all. Splack.